My name is Shenkar, and I'm a principal at the Artemis project. We're interested in looking at why corporations would worry about water, where water is free and usually abundant, where you see corporate headquarters today. We want to look at why it would matter today, but also why it would matter to plan for the future. So if we start to think about why water matters, you start to look at where water is being used and whether or not you're tracking it at all. Then secondly, you start to look at where you are tracking it. How do you start to look at waste and eliminate waste? Even the process of going forward and looking at waste starts to move employees and move water users to start to watch things more carefully. In general, as Garrett from SAP notes, waste is always an opportunity for improvement, and this is the essence of competitive advantage. Now you're going to see a real kick around that when you talk about the future. We don't know when infrastructure breakdown will break a major main in a cosmopolitan area. We don't know when water scarcity is going to start causing sudden water rationing and change overnight what you're allowed to do in terms of water use, in terms of water fixtures, in terms of water elements in your buildings, as well as in your manufacturing process. The other thing you need to pay attention to is, what about water effluent? What about water that's coming out of your systems, going back into the rivers and streams or back into utilities? What we're beginning to notice is that there's certain corporations that pilot technology before it's necessary so that they're prepared. You saw during the Atlanta water shock in 2007-2008, there were certain commercial operators that were able to switch over equipment very quickly to make themselves more water efficient and really be able to do all of the conservation that they wanted without having to make major operational changes. You're going to see water shocks, not just in the desert, but in highly populated areas as well as remote areas, in places that you didn't expect. What you want to focus on is where water matters the most to your operation, and make sure that you have a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 opportunity around that. On-site water technology hasn't really been something that people have been paying attention to. You've been leaving water to the utilities to manage in a lot of places. There's some remote areas or some very large water uses where companies have become much more sophisticated already. You see this with Intel, and you see this with a lot of semiconductor as well as beverage manufacturers. With that exception, you've really got a real wide swath of different opportunities. If you take time right now to focus on where water is used and where it's most important for your operations, you can focus in on specific technologies and specific applications and do true pilots, not from a lab, but really on-site in your operations. This makes an enormous difference when the time comes for a major change. You're ready to outfit things, you've got all your plans in place, you've got all the financial figures and the operational needs in place to make a real difference there.